Hello, this is OS Consultancy, and these are the solutions for our client bizhub. Let's start off with introducing ourselves. I'm Zainab Aljishi, and my colleague is Omar Sharaf, who is going to be speaking later on in this presentation. So, who is bizhub? bizhub is a digital marketing channel that enables you to create your own online microsite on bizhub in a cost and time-saving means to enjoy trading with other businesses, generating online sales, and speeding up your transactions. For the current state of bizhub, currently bizhub has no brand awareness, as well as a very low awareness of their social media accounts. Finally, bizhub has little to no data on their target market, which are businesses based in Bahrain. For the desired state of bizhub, this product is going to eventually provide the client with solutions that would create brand awareness for their brand, linking their social media and website with one another to increase their web traffic, providing the client with 2 campaigns, and finally providing the client with useful information that was gathered from the interviews. To start off with the findings, we created a market research audit that mainly focuses on gathering information about the target markets, which are SMEs based in Bahrain. Since bizhub is mainly targeting SMEs, reaching all CEOs in Bahrain would be almost impossible. Therefore, the most accurate data collection tool, according to research, is conducting 12 to 15 direct interviews with CEOs. So, who did we interview? We focused on interviewing different businesses of different industries, such as the educational industry and beauty salons industry, to gather as much information as we can, and we ended up interviewing 15 businesses in total. Next, for the primary research, after interviewing the businesses, we summarized all the important findings into firmographics for each of the suppliers and buyers. For the suppliers' findings, according to the interviews, they prefer to be contacted on WhatsApp, phone calls, and emails. Their purchase motivation is driven by logic and financial incentives. Their needs are fast and easy to use search engine with good filters and quick search results, the ability to quickly reorder recently purchased products, shopping lists for regularly ordered products, access to order details including invoices and delivery notes, many ways to pay, suggested product content, and adaptive search. Their expectations are creating a frictionless, personalized buying process, focus on delivering successful outcomes, fast page load times, flexibility in ordering and paying, effective, easy-to-use on-site search, intuitive navigation, detailed product images and description, expecting pricing catalogs and product selections to be organized, self-service options, and quick checkout. For the suppliers' goals, they are focused on ROIs, efficiency, expertise, and increased order numbers. And for the drivers, their customers who are the businesses want to be educated, which is where B2B content marketing comes in. Finally, their concerns of B2B platforms are advanced payments, scam companies, and stealing price quotations. Next, for the buyers' findings, according to the interviews, they also prefer to be contacted on WhatsApp, phone calls, and emails. And also, similar to suppliers, they both share the same expectations when it comes to B2B platforms. Both buyers and suppliers are driven by logic and financial incentives. But for buyers and their needs, they need easier and faster checkout, easier repeat ordering, quicker delivery and improved tracking, greater product choice, better visibility of product features, better return choice, better payment terms, greater choice of suppliers, improved relationship with suppliers, predictive ordering, more customer reviews, access to order history and account information, and finally, the use of artificial intelligence to help with buying decisions. For the buyer's goals, they want greater choice of suppliers, efficiency, and expertise. And when it comes to drivers, the promise of the offering to meet the buyer's needs. And finally, their concerns of B2B platforms are advanced payments, scam companies, online order errors such as incorrect product selections, products displayed, and pricing displayed, and others. And now my colleague Amal will take over the presentation.
Thank you, Zainab. I'll be discussing the digital marketing audits. We've benchmarked Alibaba as one of the competitors to bizhub, and these are our findings. In terms of the engagement rate, bizhub has 0% engagement on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and they have very low engagement on Instagram, which is 0.389%. Moreover, when we use specific and general keywords, we found out that bizhub does not appear on any of those searches. And this is something that is really not good. And in fact, something that we found out is that bizhub is not an original name. Many other companies have the name bizhub. It is recommended for the clients to change their name to bizhub Bahrain or something related to Bahrain, because when we search for bizhub, there are so many other companies that have the name bizhub, and our client does not appear in any of the searches. Now, moving on to the best practices that we've gained from the digital marketing audits. For the solutions, the first thing would be for bizhub to optimize their website in terms of the look and feel of the website, because according to the primary research, many of the suppliers and buyers that we have interviewed said that they would prefer a website that is easy to use and has easy functionality. The second solution would be for bizhub to utilize inbound and outbound links. The third solution would be for bizhub to incorporate the use of blogs on their websites, because that's a very common practice among other B2B companies, especially their competitor, Alibaba. The fourth solution would be for bizhub to utilize keywords in those blogs. As I showed you earlier, the specific and general keywords, bizhub can utilize such keywords into their blog so that they can improve their natural search. The final solution that we've gained is that the insight that we've gained is that LinkedIn is the best B2B platform for businesses. All B2B companies use LinkedIn LinkedIn to advertise or to post any content. So LinkedIn is a social media platform that we really encourage bizhub to hop onto. Now, moving on to the campaigns. We created 2 campaigns. The first campaign that we're going to discuss is the suppliers campaign, which is a 90-day campaign. The slogan of this campaign is the wholesale marketplace in Bahrain for sellers' needs. Now, everything in this sentence says that this is a B2B platform, and it's a marketplace, and they sell products in wholesale. They're located in Bahrain, and they are mainly focused on sellers at the moment, which is suppliers. So that's the meaning of this slogan. The objectives of this campaign is to create brand awareness for suppliers. It's to also convert those suppliers to subscribers of bizhub. And finally, it's to build a community for bizhub. Now let's look at the KPIs for the suppliers campaign. The objective of this campaign is to create brand awareness. And how we're going to do that is by using Google Ads. We're also going to be using Instagram posts, and we're also going to be using LinkedIn ads for awareness. Now, for the Google Ads, this part of the campaign is even though the whole campaign is a 90-day campaign, this part of the campaign the awareness part will run for 45 days. So the first 45 days of the whole supplier campaign is going to be for awareness. And we're going to talk about what the other 45 days will be later on. So now for Google Ads, we are expecting 4,000 impressions based on the key words that we've used. in 45 days. So that's 4,000 impressions in 45 days. We also expect approximately 350 clicks in those 45 days. Now, let's skip the Instagram engagement and let's move on to the LinkedIn ad. For the LinkedIn ad, we expect 11,000 impressions in 45 days, and we expect to increase their engagement and views by 100%. That's for the KPIs. Now, the expected KPIs, that's the KPIs that we expect in a week. So in 1 week of using the Google Ads, we expect 620 impressions. In 1 week of using the Google Ads, we expect 54 clicks approximately in those 7 days. Now, again, for the LinkedIn ad, in 1 week, we expect approximately 1,700 impressions. Now let's move on to the second objective, which is the conversion. Now in this part of the campaign, we're going to be expecting to convert suppliers to subscribers of bizhub. We want them to join bizhub. So for the next 45 days, even though I said the first 45 days is going to be for awareness, the next 45 days is going to be for converting them. Okay, so we're going to be, for the conversion part, we're going to be using LinkedIn ads. We're going to be using LinkedIn ads. Now, in this LinkedIn ad, the content is going to be completely different. It's going to be filled with call to action. And the number of impressions that we're expecting from these LinkedIn ads is going to be 30,000 impressions. That's the KPI for 45 days, 30,000 impressions in 45 days. And the number of clicks that we're expecting is 147 clicks in those 45 days. And the possible amount of leads that we might generate from this LinkedIn ad is going to be approximately 54 leads. Now, we've done some secondary research and we found out that the conversion rate is approximately 2.35%. According to the buyer's journey from making them aware of bizhub to the part of them considering bizhub, and finally for them to make a decision and purchase or subscribe to bizhub, from the consideration to the decision stage, that is approximately 2.35%, as you can see. So what we've done is we've taken the conversion impressions, which is 30,000 impressions from LinkedIn, and we've multiplied it by the 2.35%, which is the conversion rate, and we've received about approximately 700 conversions. So based on this campaign, we expect approximately 700 conversions, 700 people to subscribe to bizhub, 700 suppliers to subscribe to bizhub. And finally, the final objective is we want to build a community for bizhub. And we will do that with the help of blogs. And we will be discussing that later in this presentation. So in this campaign, in the suppliers campaign, we expect to generate approximately 45,000 impressions in 90 days. We also expect to generate approximately 54 leads in 90 days. My teammate Zainab is going to take over right now.
Now, according to primary and secondary research, the recommended social media channels are Google and LinkedIn for this campaign. The type of content that was created for this campaign is based on the buyer's journey and the hierarchy of effects, which are consisting of awareness, knowledge, liking, preference, conviction, and purchase. When it comes to the sample content for the suppliers campaign, in this first ad, we have chosen a slogan that makes it easier for the reader to understand what bizhub is, as well as having the main key features of bizhub listed in a small eye-catching area. This piece of content was mainly focused on merging both conversion call-to-action button that takes businesses to the website and awareness through the key features of bizhub. For the second ad, the slogan was created to make the reader aware that bizhub is based in Bahrain, and it is a B2B platform that offers businesses their needs. For the suppliers campaign, it will be starting from July 1st until the 28th of September. This will take 13 weeks for this campaign to run. For the content calendar, according to secondary and primary research, LinkedIn will have a 90-day ad running, as my colleague Omar has mentioned, which is going to be divided into two stages, the awareness and conversion. Each stage will be running for 45 days. Plus, LinkedIn will be having 1 to 5 times a day of posting. YouTube videos will be posted 1 to 2 times a week, and Google Ads will be having a 90-day ad running to reach the required number of leads and to create brand awareness for bizhub. Now, my colleague Omar will take over the presentation.
Thank you, Zainab. Now, the budget for the suppliers campaign is approximately 613 in total. However, the return on investment for the suppliers campaign, we'll discuss the return on investment in a bit. The way I calculated the return on investment from subscriptions alone is first, I took the lowest price of the package, the subscription package, and I've also taken the highest price of the subscription package. The lowest price is approximately 600 BD, and the highest price is approximately 800 BD. And the numbers of the estimated conversion of the people that we expect to convert based on this campaign is approximately 700 people, 700 suppliers. So the formula that I've used is we take the number of conversions, which is 700, and we multiply it by a certain percent, which is going to be, let's say 100% of the 700 people join, or 1% of the 700 people join, which is 7. And we multiply that number by the price of both packages, which is the lowest and the highest package, which is approximately 600 to 800. So based on subscriptions alone, this campaign can gain approximately 4,200 BD minimum, and that's only if 1% of the 700 people join. And if all of the 700 people join, it can gain a maximum of 560,000 BD. So it ranges from 4,200 BD to 560,000 BD. This is just based on subscription alone for the suppliers campaign. Now my teammate Zainab will be taking over this presentation.
Now, for the buyers campaign, similar to the suppliers campaign, it is going to be running for 90 days in total. So for the slogan for the buyers campaign, we chose a slogan that says, "Buy on bizhub, B2B marketplace for business needs." The reason we chose this slogan is because we wanted to highlight what bizhub is all about, which is a B2B marketplace for businesses to buy and get their needs from. This slogan was made to mainly target the buyers. The main target for the buyers campaign objectives is to create brand awareness for buyers to be aware of bizhub, to increase conversion rates by 2.35%, for buyers to subscribe to bizhub, and finally, to build a bizhub community. Now my colleague Amal will take over.
Thank you, Zainab. Now let's look at the KPIs for the buyers campaign. It has the same objectives and the same timeline. Let's look at the first objective, which is creating brand awareness for the buyers. We're going to be using the same thing again, Google Ads. We're also going to be using LinkedIn ads. The only addition to the buyers campaign is Instagram ads. We're also going to be using Instagram ads for the buyers campaign. The KPIs that we expect for Google Ads is 6,600 impressions in the first 45 days of the campaign. We also expect 450 clicks in the first 45 days with the help of Google Ads. For the LinkedIn ads, we expect 8,000 impressions in 45 days. We're also going to create 100% engagement rate and 100% views, because at the moment they have a 0% engagement rate on LinkedIn, as we've discussed earlier. Now for the Google ads, for the Instagram ads, we're going to have approximately 180,000 impressions in 45 days. And we've only targeted businesses with these KPIs. Now this is for the first 45 days, creating brand awareness. For the next 45 days, which is for the conversion, we want to make buyers subscribe to bizhub. We're also going to be using LinkedIn ads for the conversion. For the LinkedIn ads, we expect 22,000 impressions in 45 days, and we expect 250 clicks, website clicks, in those 45 days with the same ads. We also expect a possible amount of 30 leads in those 45 days. Now for the conversion, the whole conversion, we did the same as we did with the supplier campaign, which is again 2.35% from the conversion to decision, that part in the buyer's journey. Secondary research suggests that 2.35% is the number of conversion that is expected with any advertisement or any campaign. So we expect approximate numbers of 500 buyers to subscribe to bizhub. And finally, the final objective of this campaign is to build a community with the help of creating blogs. We're going to go into deeper detail about blogs later. Now let's move on to the total number. This campaign will generate approximately 216,000 impressions in 90 days, and it will generate approximately 30 leads in 90 days. Now my teammate Zainab will be taking over this presentation.
Now, according to primary and secondary research, the social media channels that are recommended for the buyer's campaign ads are Google, Instagram, and LinkedIn. The type of content created for the buyer's campaign is based on the buyer's journey and the hierarchy of effects, which consists of awareness, knowledge, liking, preference, and conviction, as well as the purchase. So each part of the content created is based off one of these categories. For the content that was created for the buyer's campaign, the first sample content includes a slogan that states that bizhub is located in Bahrain and is a marketplace for all businesses' needs, as I have mentioned earlier. The second point is that this piece of content is mainly focusing on the main key features of bizhub for buyers that are listed in a small eye-catching area. This piece of content was mainly focused on merging both conversion call to action button that takes businesses to the website and the awareness stage, which is the key features of bizhub. The call to action button includes the text free registration, which according to secondary research will instantly grab the attention of the readers, who are businesses, due to the word free and the color red that is used. Okay, for the buyer's campaign, it is going to be starting from the July 1st until the 28th of September. So for the content calendar, according to secondary and primary research, since Instagram and Facebook are integrated, posts and stories will be posted 3 to 7 times a week, plus a 90-day running ad divided into 2 separate stages, including a 45 days of awareness and a 45 days of conversion to reach as much buyers as possible. Similarly, LinkedIn will be having a 90-day ad running divided into separate stages, including a 45 days of awareness and a 45 days of conversion, plus a 1 to 5 times a day of posting. For YouTube, videos will be posted 1 to 2 times a week. And finally, Google Ads will be having a 90-day ad running to reach the required number of leads to create brand awareness for bizhub. Now, to continue with the budget, my colleague Omar will continue.
All right, now let's move on to the buyer's campaign budgets. The total budget will be approximately 900 BD. And for the ROI, we can't really calculate the ROI because the subscription for the buyers is free. Now let's move on for the contingency plan for the campaigns. For the supplier campaign, it is recommended that the client invests a week worth of the budget into Google Ads. And if the ad reaches approximately 620 impressions in a week, they should continue using Google Ad. If the ad does not reach 620 impressions approximately within a week, then they should invest the rest of their budget in LinkedIn. And that goes for the buyer campaign as well. Now moving on to the solutions.
Okay, so the usage of blogs is very important for bizhub as it is very helpful to create a community for bizhub, as secondary research shows that 71% of B2B buyers consume blog content during their buyer's journey. Companies that publish 16 or more blogs per month generate 4.5 times more leads than those who publish 4 blogs or less. Having a blog on a website increases chances of ranking higher by 434%. And finally, increasing traffic is linked to increasing blog posts. Once a site publishes 21 to 54 blog posts, traffic can increase by 30%. Continuing with the usage of keywords on the blog site, it is recommended that bizhub uses these short-tail keywords as well as these long-tail keywords. These keywords were studied, and each keyword has a high impression rate. Moving on, here are some of the blog topics based on the secondary research. For example, how easy is it to join bizhub as a buyer, as an instructional blog post? And the rest of the examples are available in the report. For the hashtag formula, it is recommended for the client to use this formula for Instagram, as it is explained in detail in the report. Now my teammate Omar will be taking over.
All right, now moving on to the wow factors. The first thing we want to talk about is the mock website we created. In the mock website, we do recommend that the client uses a bilingual option because we are living in Bahrain and English is not the main language in our country. Moreover, it does not show here, but there is a slideshow button. We do recommend the client includes this button on their website. Moving on, the client also has the market segment on their website in a form of a slideshow. We recommend them to keep it in a form of a picture that the users can interact with, because it's easier for the users to just see the options that they have and for them to click on it. And lastly, we recommend that the client uses this easy call to action, which is telling the potential suppliers and potential buyers to subscribe to bizhub by making an easy call to action button. And we also recommend that the footer of the page includes all these aspects, such as get to know us, a part for the buyers, a part for the sellers, which are the suppliers, and a help forum for them with any inquiries regarding the website. We also recommend that they include their social media platforms at the bottom. Now moving on to the e-business card. We created an e-business card for bizhub, especially for our clients, which is Miss Leda. The client can use this to network. They can just take this card, tap it on any smartphone, and a link will pop up with all their information on it. So it would make the process of networking much easier. This video demonstrates how the whole process is going to go. Now moving on to the meetings. We've set up 2 meetings for bizhub. One is for the card owner to explain to the client how the card works. The second meeting is something regarding a warehouse, and that will be explained to the client in detail. That's about it for our presentation. This is Oz Consultancy, and thank you. These are our references.